I'm really glad I'm playing this now and not like as a kid, because I would have never gotten through any of this.
It's my boss's secretary, Ava.
It's my boss's whipping boy, Manny.
No. Cool, so we're gonna go back to the tube switcher room. Down we go! Why are things falling in my room? Ghosts, if you're here, please say something other than knocking things over. There are much easier ways of talking than just knocking things over. So I used to work in a haunted hotel. Like, not a gimmicky haunted hotel. This is a hotel that was very haunted. And things would just move all the time. And I used to just yell at the ghosts and say, like, if you want to talk, there are much easier ways than moving the lights. And the lights would stop and it was much easier. It was always a time working in a hotel that was very haunted. So, spooky story for spooky month. I was a night shift worker in a haunted hotel for a little while. It was an interesting job. But yeah, things would just move. And people would stand behind you that were not there. And yeah, it was a whole time. Haunted hotel, yeah. No, it was just like, I was essentially cleaning up overnight. It would be like 10 hours. Wait, was it 10 hours? 9 hours? Nah, yeah, 9 hours. Where it was just me solo overnight. And yeah, lights would move, things would move, doors would open. Every now and then you'd find a frog on the carpet. That was quite nice. They were quite cute. But yeah, so I would like have to patrol the halls, basically to make sure like nothing's going wrong. And then, yeah, things would happen. It was a whole time. It was a very interesting time when you're solo at like 2 a.m. in a very haunted hotel in the middle of absolutely nowhere. There was one night, actually, okay, I'm going to get to a quieter. So it was one night, it's like, 3 in the morning, and I'm patrolling the hotel, like, essentially you're patrolling to make sure like there's no fire, there's no one injured, make sure everything is functioning until the day shift comes in. I'm outside, going between doors, and I hear blood-curdling screams coming from the hills around. And it's literally the sound of like zombies are coming. And I'm like, what the hell is that? And I'm like looking around, trying to find what's happening, and I can't see anything, I can't find anything. I was like, okay, no one's hurting. The screams are not coming from the hotel. No one's dying here. Maybe they're dying elsewhere. I don't know. But it keeps happening throughout the night. And then, you know, you can't really see anything. It's pitch black outside. So it could have been like 10 meters down the road and I wouldn't have known. But these screams kept getting louder and louder. And there were so many of them building upon each other. And I said to the day shift, like, they come in and they say, all right, what happened overnight? And I said, well, there were all of these zombie screams happening. Any idea what happened? Is there something on the news? And the guys who took over from me said, oh yeah, it's rutting season for the deer. That's just how they sound. So yeah, there's just deer in the hills. But we probably should have told you about them. And I'm like, yeah, probably should have told me about them. I thought they were like zombie screams for some reason. So yeah, so they were just deer who were like literally just repeatedly. All night. So okay. It was such a time. Off we go to steal Colomar. Hell yeah! I remember we were at camp once and there was talk of a ghost was seen. We were like 12. There was a ghost seen in the camp and it was a white lady who was walking and then jogging and then running, trying to escape something coming after her. And multiple people started to see this white lady going around the camp. The stories started going around about the white lady and more people started seeing her every night. We were at camp for about a week, if I think, remember correctly. People started getting legitimately worried. People didn't want to be caught alone if they saw her. Like, what do? You can't outrun a ghost. Like, how do you deal with that? And the teacher said, look, there's no white lady, there is no ghost, there's never been any talk of ghosts at this camp. We've talked to the workers, like, there's no story of that ever. There is no ghost. Which naturally, because we were kids, meant there absolutely was a ghost, because otherwise why would they deny it? So like, we kept seeing her more and more, people started getting more and more afraid, until one day we went to the assembly in the morning, and the teacher said, we have some news to tell you. The white lady is real. And everyone just like, doesn't scream, they go silent. They go like, what? The teachers are saying the white lady is real. Like, what? And they continue and say, yeah, so there's some uni students at the camp with us. Some of the girls were wearing white dresses, and they were going for a swim. That's what the white lady is. That's why you keep seeing these women in white dresses at night, because they go for swim at night. It's not a ghost. It's just university students. And then the white lady immediately stopped. And within a day, people had forgotten about it. And it was like, oh, kind of like the ghost story going around. But it was really interesting to see this ghost story be created around us as sort of we kept seeing this thing that we didn't understand. I love ghost stories. Ghost stories are great. What's amazing about that story of the uni students that sort of created this ghost story within us, they had no idea what they were doing. And we actually saw a group of the girls later on, like walking off, and there were 4 of them. And we were like, huh, yeah, they are just like wearing white dresses to go swimming. But yeah, they had no idea what they had done to this group of school kids that had just seen them and then turned them into ghost stories. Like there's no way for them to find out about that, of the impact they'd had on the world. And it's just really interesting. Dun dun dun.
Welcome to the club. Salvador Limones and
We never know the kind of impact that we have on other people simply by standing in the place. It's just really interesting to think about.